coaches we ever had, Stephen Keshi. So I came in there was already a rot, and I noticed the rot then. When I was signed on to coach the Super Eagles, because this is kind of the things that the local coaches suffer when they coach the Super Eagles. When I was signed to coach the Super Eagles by the NFF, one of the things they told me was that they had not qualified because they were having problems with certain players in the group. These players also give so much problem to Keshi, and that's why Nigeria did not qualify. They had asked me to not invite these players anymore into the Super Eagles. Now, what I told them was, I myself, as a captain, I knew NFF is not easy to. I don't have to tell you about that. You all know that. So I already knew that. So I said, in all fairness to the players, what I will do is this. I begged the NFF. I said, look, let me talk to them. Let me try to get them on board. Let me share my philosophy.
All right, and of course, that's the sight and sound of the interview Sunday Oliseh granted to the press there as regards his own side of the saga between him and John Obi Mikel. And definitely a lot to reveal. Of course, you heard him there talking about the players the NFF told him not to invite. He made mention of the likes of Yama and even Mikel himself. Okay. And well, no, that was prior to the qualifier for, was it the 2006 World Cup qualifiers, if I'm correct in that one. All right, and of course, you get to see more of that on the show this evening. And I want to say welcome to Locker Room on VOP TV. My name is Jerry Arpelihai. It's a full house. Definitely, we have the usual suspects talking about James as well as Mayowa, who will be supporting us online virtually on the show this evening. James, you've heard from talking about Sunday Oliseh in the first part of that interview, because we'll still be going into that. We would like to also get your comments as the show progresses. Don't feel free to make your comments on the show, as well as definitely wherever you're watching us from, also tell us that. You're welcome to Locker Room.
Yeah, I'm a very good
Oliseh versus Mikel Obi.
to you, Jerry, and also to our viewers. Good evening. Once again, nice to be here to talk about football. But earlier, was it last month where we saw the Mikel Obi podcast where Mikel Obi came for Oliseh,
saying he's the worst coach ever.
He played that ever managed him, and also he narrated his own side of the story where he said there was a day in training where Oliseh walked into training and attacked Vicente Yama directly, and that was the last time we ever heard of Vicente Yama. I think one of you guys said it. Was it Maiwa? Maiwa mentioned that Oliseh is hot-headed and we are expecting to get a response from him. I think here we have the response, and in the interview, in that video we watched, I think we watched it before earlier, and we saw he didn't even just come for he told his own side of the story, that it was not even his own ideology to like come for the players and throw them under the bus. That before he even came, he was already bantered that the NFF saw no reason why they should be having players like Mikel Obi, Enyama, and Namonike. Those were the figureheads, those were the problems the Super Eagles were having at that moment. That we shouldn't be even inviting them to camp. So I think Sunday Oliseh coming out to defend himself, I think it's actually the right thing to do. And now that we have two different stories on board, now it's kind of difficult to know who to believe. But it's still done down to what you can see in both, what you can confirm the stream in both stories, set of stories at the NFF. The NFF were to be in both stories, because the NFF have been known over time to always be one of the major problems we're having in the football scene. But and now Oliseh is out here defending himself. I think credits to him, and let's see what my has to say about the rest.
Maybe it's the right time some things that we didn't know back behind the scene will begin to get revealed as far as the way football is managed in Nigeria. And of course, what a time to be alive to hear of this. Mario, I would like you to react to that first part of that we just showed our viewers there, talking about the issue between Sunday Oliseh and John Obi Mikel back in the days, during his time as a very good coach.
Well, I mean, when the news first broke and Mikel Obi did that podcast, one of the things I said was, Yes, we know is sorted than just for that. I would like to hear Oliseh's side of the story, and I know Oliseh will not disappoint me. Yes, he has come out with the side of the story. The truth is this: I don't think Oliseh will lie. I think the reason why Mikel said some of the things he said was he was probably he felt his ego was bruised, and that was the reason why he said some of the things he said. I don't think whatever transpired between them rose to the level of Oliseh, rose to the level of Mikel saying he's one of the worst coach ever and the rest of that and stuff like that. And also, there is an important, if you listen to the Mikel version and Oliseh's version, like James rightly said, there is one culprit in between them who is always like there's one middleman who is the one that is always causing the problem, which is the NFF. I think to be honest, this is the two of them. They are adult. Oliseh is 49, Mikel is about 37 or 36 thereabouts. I think they are two grown men. They should be able to resolve their issue outside football. I think this has gone long enough. Yes, it's good that we are hearing whatever is happening behind the scene, but I mean, I hope they don't turn it into what transpired between the two popular musicians in Nigeria that we have, that started throwing banter at each other on Twitter and the rest of that, and everybody had to jump on. I think the two of them are grown. They should try and sort out whatever it is. But the bottom line is this: NFF is involved in the crisis, and that's just the truth. Because I mean, Sunday Oliseh will not just make up that story. If it didn't happen, it would not say it, because it's not somebody that just talk for the sake of talking. If you don't poke him, he doesn't talk. So I think the two of them should realize that NFF is the root cause of the problem, and they should try and resolve the issue. To be honest with you.
All right, for the benefit of our viewers, we'd like them to also hear from the horse's mouth, and that is how we do it here. Talking about Sunday Oliseh himself, telling us more of what happened during his time as the coach of the Super Eagles, where he was the handler of the team from July 2015, and he left the position in February 2016. He did spend up to a year. And I was one of those who was not really happy with the way he left. I think it was the Nations Cup qualifiers were to play Egypt. I felt he chickened out. He gave us a lot of excuses, but you cannot tell the whole story. He said that he was not given the necessary support from the players, the NFF, and he even blamed us, the media, also being the part of the problem. He also blamed Voodoo at that time. I wonder why he did not tell us about how Voodoo played a role in making him leave the Super Eagles coach. Let's hear more from Sunday Oliseh, and we're still here on Locker Room on VOP TV.
I called the captain of the team, which was in Yama. I took my own car and drove almost 200 and something kilometers to his place. If you put it to and fro, almost 400 kilometers with my assistant coach. Took him out to lunch. Paid for it, watched him train in the morning, spoke to his coach, spent the whole day with my captain, and spoke to him and gave him the philosophy of how it was going to be. Now, the three players the NFF had most problems about, they told me it was Inyama, John Obi Mikel, and Emmanuel Emenike. To start with, before I go further, the biggest regret I had as a Super Eagles was when Emenike called me and said, "Coach, I am retiring as a national team player." Working with Emmanuel Emenike was one of the best things I had as a Super Eagles coach. He was a great guy. He was a nice guy. And when I saw all what some media people had written about this boy, I was shocked, because I could speak with Emenike. He was willing, but he felt he couldn't take it anymore. He said, "Coach, no, I have decided to stop." Now, this is things I never put public, because I have to respect the man's privacy. And that is why I'm so happy each time I see Emenike doing well. Because the guy was like that. So he was totally opposite of what some people at the NFF have told me about him. But on the other hand, I sent message to John Obi Mikel. He never answered my calls. He never called me back. He never did anything. He totally ignored and played the super diva. I took my car, got into a train with my assistant, drove to London to see John Obi Mikel and to see and Moses at the time. They were both playing at Chelsea. He gave them appointments at the hotel. Two teammates of the same club. Moses came to the meeting. We had the drink. We spoke. And the boy told me some private things I won't share, why he was no longer too much interested in the Super Eagles to play. And I tried to explain to him to make him to come in. The other one refused to come. What could I do? So the boy already started creating problems. And I also had problems with Inyama also. Just before we played the game against Tanzania, we were playing on Friday. Everybody came into camp. On Wednesday, the man was still not there. And then only to phone us on Wednesday evening that he was not going to come because he wanted to bury his mother who died 3 months ago. So we had to rush and go to that game. We're lucky we got the draw. And I had already invited Carl Ekelman. Well, the story is history now. Ekelman was unbelievably good. So we were able to survive that and all that. So you see all these problems coming. Now, if you are a local coach and you don't have I still repeat that for you to be able to coach and to succeed, you must have personality. Carlo Ancelotti told me that. My coach, Morten Olsen, told me that. Bonfreggio told me that. Capello, he told us that also. You know, these are coaches, top coaches I work with. Even Alex Ferguson said it also. If you don't have personality as a coach, forget it. We all know what happened to David Beckham when he tried to, you know. So when the coach, if a player is trying to like not serve the country and the coach doesn't say anything, don't just, and they keep talking, it's not good. So this is the point I'm looking. So when you look at it like that, for the local coaches, it is difficult because to be able to stand up. Now, I was able to tell the players, okay, you want to do this, go home. I don't need you anymore. You know, you want to be stubborn, you want to make trouble, okay, no problem. I will put you out. Because from my own record, I'm a captain with personality. I remember with personality, I accept it. People call it, they say you're stubborn. No, I believe I'm principled. I will never accept from you what I wouldn't do to you. So that is how I see it itself. So in that instance, you put yourself in a local coach who doesn't have that ability and doesn't have the support of the federation to do that. You cannot succeed. So that is what is killing the local coaches from performing. And when the coach is quiet, like I was in my case, then these ones will go to talk. These kids will talk and say what they want. And then, okay, he's wrong, he did it, he doesn't. No, it is not like that. And that is why I felt really unfortunate for what has happened now.
Is the coach of the ex-Super Eagles coach, Oliseh, said a lot about how he made effort to mend fences with the likes of Vincent Eyama. And I remember I mentioned the fact that there was a story that Vincent Eyama said he was actually going to bury his mom. And that is why he excused himself from the qualifiers for the Nations Cup. And he made mention of how he made effort to see Mikel and Victor Moses. Mikel ignored that meeting and so on and so forth. So we heard from the horse's mouth Sunday, Oliseh. Maiwa, what's your take in all of this drama? He referred to Mikel Obi as a kid, saying that he's a bigger person. He wouldn't step so low to address someone like Mikel, who he feels is more like a kid. He has done it as a footballer. He should do it as a coach as well, which he said that Mikel has ignored that kind of responsibility and he should not be talking to him. And then he also made mention of how Mikel downgraded the accolades or the trophy cabinet of the likes of Kano. But talking about what we just watched, what's your assessment of the whole situation?
To be honest with you, I think there's a lot of things we don't know, and it's good that coaches are beginning to come out to say things. We've said it over and over again. A lot of these ex-internationals, they don't respect our local coaches. I mean, if we were to be Southgate or maybe a Mourinho that was coaching, and sorry, I'm digressing a bit, that was coaching and Osimhen, will Osimhen come out and do a live and start lambasting a Mourinho like that? Definitely no. It is an Osimhen that suffered racial slurs in Italy, and we never saw him on live to say anything about the situation that about a team that attacked him personally. But there's a Finidi George who is a local coach. You decided to go on live and start lambasting him. So I mean, if you look at the interview critically, you could see the pain in Oliseh's voice. And one thing I like so much that Oliseh said, and as this saga is continuing, I know maybe one of these days, Emenike will come out and say something. I would like to hear Emenike's side of the story, because I mean, according to Oliseh, one of the players that was fished out to the NFF has been unruly was Emenike, and Oliseh could attest to the fact that Emenike was one of the best guys around he would ever work with, and the rest of us. I would like to hear from Emenike so that we can corroborate what Sunday Oliseh has said, because I mean, most of us were not there. These are reported speech.
At least to some extent, to an extent, we want to take the benefit of doubt to say maybe definitely Oliseh is coming from his own point of view. He has something to say, because he also was among those who wore the shoe and know where it pinches.
To an extent, I think Oliseh should be saying, from what we have watched, I think to an extent he has what he has been saying, what he said in that particular podcast, most of them might be true. Because coming from an angle, we have been having a similar problem all through. What we had with Oliseh is not too much more different from what we have with Finidi, and these are local coaches. So I think in a part of the video he made mention of the NFF didn't give him time to stay at the job, and they were not in support of him. And I think he even said the NFF owed him salary for over 4 months. So these are recurring issues that we have been having. Also, in the same podcast, he made mention of players not turning up to camp early,
selecting games and so on.
This still goes back to what we have said in the past of having a code of conduct. You cannot be running a team and you will not have a particular code of conduct. The English national team, these are players that will play in England, and you don't have more. I think the Euros, they had a match. Manchester United had a match, a Man City match, and those are the players that came in late. Every other player reported to camp early. What's your excuse of not coming early? These are players that know that okay, you are not the top, you are not the best player in the world. So once you don't come in early, there are punishments that you face. But this Nigerian NFF have refused to put the conduct over years. This dates back to 2006 or so, that this has been happened, and it's still reoccurring in this same national team in 2024. So it's rather sad that the NFF have failed to face such issues, putting the code of conduct, so that both the players, the coaches, and also them, we also have a particular way they operate. They don't want to do that because they know obviously it's going to affect them, and it's making us look like we are not ready. This is one of the biggest brands in Nigeria, and we cannot put our house in order. We're having the same issue that played back in over 10 years, played back again.
All right, so it's pretty sad. It's like a whole circle of going round and round.
We are in a particular roundabout because we are going through the same thing. We are going through the same thing. We are in a roundabout. The roundabout, we have not decided if we are going east or we are going north.
We have not decided where we want to go.
On a particular
we just spot. Go round again.
And now, when you know when you keep on using a particular road. Sorry, Maiwa, let me say something. When you keep on using a particular road, the road gets bad. We are not feeling it too. We are not, that road that is getting bad. The road is getting worse because as it stands, it's getting worse. We are putting a person in charge that doesn't know anything about football as the head of Football Federation of Nigeria. The head of Football Federation that is head coach of the Super Eagles resigned from job 48 hours after he said he's not aware. So who did he submit his resignation to?
That's a political statement. Welcome to Nigerian politics.
So I don't know. Maybe you have another angle. Maybe the NFF are doing well. Maybe I don't know. Maybe let's see what you have to say.
Well, the thing is this. Circle does not end. So we continue to go round until we are tired and we fall off. And that's just the thing. And one thing that Oliseh rightly said that I want to hold on to, and this has been a recurring decimal with our local coaches. Remember what they did to an Onigbide after that World Cup. Yes, we were kicked out of the World Cup in the group stage. However, they should have left Onigbide alone. He was trying to whip this team in shape. The court shot that project. There was an Amadou Shuaibu twice, qualified us for the World Cup, and Amadou Shuaibu was kicked out. One of the major things that Oliseh mentioned, which is still playing out today, is the fact that the NFF themselves they don't have any belief in the local coach. They don't support the local coach, and that's the reason why they shield all these players. They shield some of these players. I mean, look at the case of Osimhen. Look at the case of Osimhen. If we probe for that, one of the reasons why Oliseh angrily left when he had told those unruly guys that they are not welcome back in the team. Somebody in NFF was making a case for him and was telling him to feature those boys again. That's that's part of the reasons why he would have angrily left, because definitely because of the lack of support that you get, a coach will take a decision. The NFF and the sports ministry will override that decision. A case in point, which is very, very fresh, is the case of Osimhen. Rather than punish Osimhen properly, discipline him so that will not repeat itself, the sports minister is coming out to beg on Osimhen's behalf. And we have said it again, a brand that has been in existence for over 70 years. If we don't have a proper code of conduct, there is no way our local coaches will survive. The only reason why the foreign coach survive is very simple. Most of the foreign coach, the NFF board, they feel they are very superior to our local coach, so at least they will give them some leeway to work. Two, the player themselves, because they feel they are playing under an Oyinbo man, and probably the Oyinbo man has traction with the NFF more than a local coach, they will whip themselves in shape. It's not surprising that the discipline is coming out now. It has always been in the team. It's just for the fact that there's an Oyinbo man that is there. How do you explain, an ex-international, a very successful ex-international, who is your coach, drove to your club to go and see you, to book an appointment with you, and you decided not to turn up? I mean, it speaks a whole lot, in the kind of character we have in the team, and that's the reason why and Osimhen will come up and say all these things, because I mean, somebody has done it before. What happened to the person after Oliseh left he played for Nigeria? He was part of the team. The only person that didn't come back is Vincent Yama. So I mean, if that happened during Mikel's time and nothing happened to Mikel, then Osimhen can do the same thing and nothing will happen, and he still comes back again to the code of conduct. We have to have a code of conduct in place, and that's the way forward. If not, we'll continue to go around this circle that is unending, and only God knows when it will end. It's just so tiring that we are still discussing the same issue. After 10 years, 2024, we are talking about code of conduct. It's just so shameful to be honest.
The thing is, the code of conduct cannot come to light. I don't feel it will come to light because we still have cases where head coaches are coming out to say NFF says such players must be invited to camp. You cannot set the code of conduct and you think your godson or whatever. Let me use godson because they are godfather automatically.
Yeah, there are some NFL officials that these Super Eagles players always send dollars to.
Yes, now so
who pays the piper details the tune.
Exactly. So you cannot bring out codes of conduct that you expect a whole body to follow, and you don't think your player, your person will fall a victim of.
Yeah.
Because the only way when it comes out, when you know the conduct that your player, somebody you like, falls a victim of, you cannot bend it. So it's better not to create it in the first place.
Yeah, with all due respect to history.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Mayowa.
And to even go further, remember, I can't remember the year now. One of these under 17, the saga with the under 17 boys, if you want, before you assemble a team, there are people in the NFF board that will be bringing under 17 players that you must pick this person. You must pick this person. And if you look at it, this is where all these things are starting from. They pick them. This person must represent Nigeria. The person represents Nigeria. Lucky enough to progress a bit in football, moves from under 17 to a better club in Europe, and is beginning to gain traction in the Super Eagles and just of that. Because you want to reward that same person in NFF, you will give the person dollars, and before you know, when there is time to move the NFF forward to create rules and regulations that would cover this kind of things, some people will frustrate it. It's just unfortunate, and to be honest with you, it still comes back to this issue of quota system again. I hope when the tenure of these guys in NFF when it ends. I hope the various FA, I hope something is done that such that we can vote people who are competent, who do not have and they don't have any corruption case against them, and they don't have anybody blackmailing them. Because I mean, if I give you dollars and you are coming against me, I will expose you. Social media is social. We are in the age of social media now. It's just to release the information to an anonymous source, and you find yourself on Twitter, and it's very embarrassing for you. Even some of the guys in the NFF, because of what they have eaten, they cannot even speak the truth anymore. Because if they can say the truth, their names they'll be dragged. It's just unfortunate that we find ourselves in this mess. To be honest with you, it's just unfortunate.
Really bad.
Just very, very unfortunate.
Funny how
my just hit the nail on the head.
My is even going far. I think before we came on live, we saw news of this Nigerian Super Falcon captain, the defender. You mentioned her name. I'm trying to remember.
Onomebi.
Yeah.
Onomebi has told the line of Osimhen. She's now disrespecting her own coach.
She wants to be in the Olympics. She wants to be in the Olympics team. At
her old age.
The last competition we had.
At 41.
At 41. What else are you looking for?
The last competition we had, she was practically one of the issues why we didn't go for any competition, because she was not that fast.
She was slow.
And you know how Olympics are.
Yes.
They leave the youngest set of players that are trying to prove a point, to go there. So if you build yourself as at the Olympics, then yes, you can walk into the national team. Look at the French national side.
I mean, James, it's very simple. The Olympics rule is very clear. Under 23, 20, then you pick 3 over 8 players.
Who are good. Who can match up.
You will not carry a 41-year-old lady.
Why would you pick a 41-year-old? See, Onomebi has served Nigeria for a very long time. He can transition into coaching. I mean, Nkocha did it. Perpetual Nkocha did it. He transitioned from playing into coaching before he left and started coaching somewhere in Sweden. So why do you want to disgrace yourself? Why do you want to talk?
She called out Randy Wardrum. No, now this is not a foreign coach. This is not a local coach. This is a foreign coach. So we will not say it has to do with the coach. So we are talking about a female team. In the female team, someone who's supposed to be the captain figure, making such comments.
This is beyond the captain. This is like the leader.
And this is an OG. An OG in the Super Falcons team. Supposed to know better.
Jerry,
yes?
Jerry, the thing is this. Yes, Osimhen has tested it with local coach. Nothing happened.
And it worked.
She's trying to test the waters now.
And shockingly, she has been dropped.
Yeah, I love the fact that Randy didn't fall in for the.
No, it was because of this situation.
For the whole
he had no choice.
Drama.
He had to drop her.
So he had to just drop her. Let her just be there. And I'm sure if it had been a Nigerian coach, it would have fallen to the pressure.
She has also.
I'm sure the other people will have been able to your leg is not strong. Better just pick her to avoid problem. And I love the fact that Randy has been able to stand on his feet as a man and not put his faith in this. And let's not forget, Randy Sever has been taking a lot of bullshit from this NFF team.
Anyway, I trust individuals like Aisha Falode. Definitely, she will not want to bring sentiment into professionalism. And of course, she will be concerned with what is happening and would have maybe spoken to her.
We just
take your decision, and
we just need to work on
and forget about
this NFF as a brand. It's not working. It's not working at all. Now, I think the draw for the AFCON qualifiers will be out I think on Thursday or so. That will be tomorrow or so. And now we don't have an head coach. Since the news of over the weekend, since the sport minister John went on TV on radio to make that comment. Now we have not heard anything from NFF. We have not heard anything from. The matter has died down.
After the Salah break,
and nobody's saying anything about it.
After the Salah break, they've taken another break. So they are still on recess. The last time we heard, they said after the holidays, they will name a coach. We heard that
they are just playing with fire.
They're waiting for the Euros to end. So one of the coaches that do well in the
Can Euros, they pay any of the coaches?
No, I'm just telling you what is happening now. I'll give you updates.
Now,
so after the Euros, they will look at one of the good coaches at the Euros.
At this point, they're just trying to think of somebody that is foreign, that they can toy with, that they can say, well, I take salary this month. They will not collect for like 2-3 months. They don't say that one. They have the money.
The federal government has not done the supplementary budget.
They have the money. They have the money one side. If it's money, they have it one side.
Yes.
Jerry, we just got $4 million last week
Okay, yeah.
CAF just gave us $4 million. So I mean, where are they spending the $4 million on?
That one will still bring its own drama. That's
Mosquitoes. They need to take mosquitoes out.
For fumigate, they will need to fumigate the office.
You goes. If in the NFF till tomorrow, $200,000 was missing in the coffers of the NFF. They say they kept it in the office safe. That was about close to 15 years ago. Till today, believe me, that money nobody has accounted for it. It has gone into the wind. This $200,000.
Jerry will not blame them now. Shebi, in this same country, we've heard that snake has swallowed money.
Snake and monkeys are even stealing money.
Snake has swallowed this. Termite has eaten money. We've heard that kind of story before. So I mean, it's not a new thing.
It's rather sad. It's rather sad.
Yeah, you are the source of where you are coming from. Show me your father. I will show you the kind of child he has.
Birds of a feather
flock together. That's the truth.
A fruit does not fall far from the tree. So
lion cannot
born good. So that's what we are seeing in this NFF. So at this point, it's rather sad.
No,
it's rather sad.
See, we have to get it right from the state FA. If we don't get it right from the state FA, we will never get it right at the national level. I've said it over and over again.
We already made mention. We already said this before. You said the state FA. Before they put anybody in charge of the state FA, they put Egba Adugbo, somebody that they can toy with.
It's roundabout.
Somebody that if you go and meet him tomorrow, say, oh yeah, go and do this one. You will go there without questioning.
Yeah, loyalty.
No, James. But the thing is this. I think we should begin to focus more on the state FA. The kind of focus that the NFF has, sometimes yes, they might do whatever they want, but sometimes they tread with caution. I think if you take a vox pop on the street, a lot of people do not even know the state FA chairman of their state. A lot of Nigerians do not know.
Let me tell you, Maiwa, what is going on. In your locality, your environment, there is a grassroots football development that reports to the local government FA, that reports to the state FA. Today, you are a football enthusiast. You might be interested. Okay, maybe they say there's an election into who's going to be the chairman of grassroots football development in your locality. You throw your heart into the ring and say you want to contest. The day you come and collect the forms, you see some boys looking so dreadful, telling you what are you here for? Settle boys. By the time you settle boys, they give you the form. Maybe a ridiculous amount. The form was supposed to be 2,000. They tell you 15,000 because you have Nigeria at heart. You want to show your love. You buy the form 15,000. As you are going home, you start your car. Your car is doing your car doesn't start over. It starts miraculously. The battery die. Okay. When you are sleeping, you are seeing some lions chasing you. You call your pastor and they pray for you. And they advise you. What are you dragging with someone? Are you dragging anything with someone? They say, I want to contest. You say, okay, if you love yourself, don't contest. Tomorrow you will do a press conference and say, with all due respect, after I'm talking to my family, you don't tell anybody what happened though. After discussing my family members, the best decision to step aside, and look at other. I will support from behind the scene. So that person who is doing all the wuru to the answer, you will not be the person in charge. At the end of the day, it goes round and round. You have to, unless you have to fight, do some extraordinary fights. That's where you see those who really have the love of the sport get there. Or maybe when that person who is also a dog, who has the interest and does the right thing, and say, no, today let's just do the right thing. That is when we do it right.
I don't think we want. It's not a job of a person. It's like a
collective effort.
A collective effort. Let me say a collective. Because even if we have a good FA, and we still have about 30, we have about 36 states.
36 states.
How do one person convince the whole of 36 states to change their minds?
And mind you, when we had good NFF working was mostly during the military era, when we have the military head of state will say, no, this is what I want. The state FA then were also from the military, ex-military officials and so on, who were the sport minister will say, no, the NFF, government interference with shook hands. But now, in the democratic setting, they'll say FIFA was going to ban us. Let's not forget, Jonathan's government said, let's leave football, let's go back and re-strategize. Let's take a break for the next 4 years. Everybody said, no, FIFA will ban us. This, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they went back to status quo and they did all the rule to the answer. We are back again.
FIFA does not even need to ban us. We will not be participating in their competition. At least World Cup. Like
let's pity the boys. Let them be playing. Anyhow.
Let the ones that have not chosen their countryside, let them remain where they are. Let them not choose. Because as it stands, I think it's better not to even play international friendly than to come to this Nigerian team and be suffering rubbish. Because you will still come again and they'll tell you to pay. Don't be surprised.
It is sad.
So the NFF, I think we need a complete overhaul for the whole system, not just the Super Eagles side. The whole board. First off, take up the whole quota system is affecting, it's killing.
Yes.
It's killing not just the football section. It's practically affecting every aspect. There was a particular, was it early this year where the Tigers of this basketball team, they said there was a time that this broke out that they didn't have money to go for the competition. I've forgotten which way it was holding. Was it at I can't remember. But I knew there was a particular time earlier this year where the basketball national team of Nigeria was coming out to say they don't have money to go out, wants to go to the country. So what have they been doing? So it's rather sad that the system has not been working and we are just moving and we are just drama, rubbing everything together, everything just moving, and we are just building on a weak foundation. Because when one major thing will happen now, everything will just be scattered. Everybody will be confused.
It is well. All right, let's talk about the Euro 2024. So much is happening as far as the Euros is concerned. We now know the boys have been separated from the men. And talking about the Turkish national team, made history yesterday by defeating Austria. It's so disappointing to see Austria crashing out at this stage. They lost 2-1 in a thrilling last 16 match, ending the title of Dark Horses and sending shockwaves of excitement to Turkish communities worldwide, including Toronto. Mary Demiral, one-time Juventus player, scored both goals for Turkey, with Ada Güler, the new Real Madrid product, providing the assist from from set pieces. Quite a great day, a great week it has been for talking about the Turkish nationals all over the world, as far as seeing them make it to the quarterfinals of the Euros. Maiwa, are we going to expect more fireworks? And of course, let's not forget we saw our boy talking about Cody Gakpo, who was on fire for the Netherlands.
Why are you trying?
I'm proud of him. He's doing well.
These Liverpool people.
He's doing well. When somebody is doing well, you have to say it. Of course.
They must say something. But in any case, I think it's a good one for the Turkish side. The last time they did anything significant in any competition was the 2002 World Cup. Akam Suko got them to with their goalkeeper that used to paint his eyes, Rostock.
Yeah.
And Rostock, or what that's his name again, that they got to the semi-final of the World Cup, and that was the last time they did anything fantastic in any competition. It's a good one that, finally they've been able, the hard work has paid. After 22 years, they are getting to the quarterfinal again of a major competition. It's a good one that they are able to knock out the Austrians. I mean, the Austrians gave a good account of themselves, but the Turkish side, they were up to the task, and they took their chances and they were able to kick out the Austrians. I was on radio on Saturday, and Charles said something. He said, now the Euro just starts, and I want to allude to that statement. I think we are beginning to see the Euro shape up. It might be the Euro of anybody. To sweeten Jerry a bit, I mean, Cody Gakpo was on fire yesterday. I mean, he was one of the people that fired Netherlands into the quarterfinal. And to be honest with you, his performance yesterday was very, very impressive. I mean, I was really impressed with how he played. And I think if he keeps up with that kind of form, I think Liverpool will probably be looking up. Will probably do better next season. It's going to be an interesting.
That one is also doing well at Euros as well. He's Doing well at
Why
the,
you- why
at the,
are-
at the Copa America, sorry.
Why I
Copa
your
America.
players?
Hey, I what you have now.
No, these players.
Bruno Fernandes is also
time,
doing well for Portugal.
over time, I think players like Gakpo, before Gakpo came to the EPL, before he joined Liverpool, he had an incredible season at the league, at the PSV league. I think it was practically the highest goal scorer, and it was before January. He had about 15 or 16 goals before he made the move. Let's not forget, the Premier League is a very difficult league. Not many players perform in the Premier League. So let's hope we can replicate that same.
He has been doing well in the league. He's been a decent player as far as
decent.
Yeah, he's a decent player.
Just use decent. Not say he has been a good player.
But you know, he struggled with injury a bit, and
Yes.
you know that was what put a pin in his performance. I think if he continues with this kind of form he's in with the Netherlands now, I think he's going to do well next season. And also, the way he's playing for the Netherlands presently now, I'm liking his movement. He's very sharp.
Yeah.
So like when he came back from the injury in the EPL, he was a bit slow. You know, he was a bit docile. You know, the movement was not that sharp. But right now, with this kind of movement, you know, the Netherlands might just sneak it through and probably get to the semi-final, because I mean, he's one of the guys that probably push them far if he can replicate the same form he showed in the last game. To be honest with you, I'm really impressed with Cody Gakpo and even Ronald Koeman himself. I mean, somebody that was chased away from Barcelona, came back to
what a redemption time for him,
and is redeeming himself. Remember, he was one of the guys that won the Euro 88 for the Netherlands team, and that was the last time, you know, they did anything fantastic in terms of winning any competition.
Yes.
Probably maybe he might be lucky after 36 years to probably win the tournament for them again. I'm also looking at them, aside from my 17-year-old boys.
No, I think the Netherlands also have a good chance to get to the final.
They play against a very tricky Turkish side.
Turkish side, yeah.
Yeah, very
But
tricky Turkish
you know,
side.
earlier when we were picking our picks, I told you guys Netherlands will be one thing we should be looking at, because they have had poor performances in the past. But with this set of players that they have currently, and let's not forget the likes of the league has not even made any appearances in the back. These are players that can still start very well in the team. So, and the way kind of football they play, they are kind of in your face. They are mostly in your face all through the match. But I think it's going to be a tricky choice when they face the Turkish side, because the Turkish side are a team that have to sit back and break and attack you when they break, and they are very fast attackers. So let's see what happens going into the knockout stage. And we still have a lot of top teams in this competition. We still have the likes of England. They might, even if they beat qualify against Turkey, they will still face England. So it's still going to be a tricky one for them. But I think this Euro is one that most people cannot predict. Last year, the last one we were easy to predict that the likes of England and Italy will be in the final. Italy had a good one going into the final. Also, England, we saw them the way they were performing. So it was easy to predict. But this particular one is kind of more difficult, because this particular one we see at the likes of Germany. You cannot even say who's going to win between Germany and Spain. You cannot even decide. You cannot give anybody 100%. My wife is going to say Spain. God is rooting for them. He's going to say Spain because
it's the match of the century.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
James. Elo Fokombale. Spain will win. Spain will win. Elo Fokombale.
Beat the home team, the host team.
And let's not forget the France and Portugal match too. It's actually a very big one.
On Friday, all road leads to Germany.
And the France side has not been able to score any goal, or they don't have any goal for any of their attackers.
That's how they will get to the final.
Up to this very moment. And also the Portuguese side were very this close to losing it when Sechko had a late one-on-one with Diogo Costa. Credit to Costa also. He was incredible in that game, even before the penalties. So I think that one is actually going to be a one to watch.
Definitely. Two blockbuster fixtures on Friday as far as the quarterfinals is concerned. Okay, your money, Mayowa, is on Spain against Germany.
Definitely Spain. My 17-year-old boys are getting to the final. I'm staking my money on them. And for the French and the Portuguese side, I think it's going to be a very boring game. If they play the way they played their last game, it's going to be another boring game. It's going to be another cagey affair. I'm not a fan of what the French side are doing at the moment. Their play is not that interesting. There's no much fluidity in their play. To be honest with you, if I go by what the Portuguese displayed in their last game, I wasn't impressed also. But I'm looking forward to see what will happen. But my expectations for that game is very, 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 very low. To be honest with you, it's going to be another boring game. Probably maybe a one goal, we just steal it, or probably we'll see an extra time of penalty. To be honest with you.
All right, and of course, Spain striker Joselu has said that their plan is to retire Toni Kroos as early as possible when they take on the German team. talking about Yoselu Mato. He wants to retire his former teammates. Oh, why? Wow.
You should not worry. I think
unfair.
that German side is one thing that they should be scared of. They
Yeah.
are playing for a lot. They are playing for a lot. Let's not forget, the German team has been one of the
Yes,
top
yeah.
team in
Fumbling
the past.
recently.
In the past,
Yeah.
and they had the one. I think 3,
They
4
had a
years.
very bad World Cup.
Yeah, 3 years,
yeah.
and now they are back.
Yeah.
And now they are back, and they are back with an incredible team. I think the only part of the field where they don't have a top man is the striking position. That's where most people have a doubt because of Kai Havertz. And also they have a full club who comes on from bench and also give them what they want. But in the midfield and the defense, they have beasts. So I think it's not going to be an easy one for the Spanish side.
Yeah.
So I don't know why my wife is so sure of this is Spain side. But let's see what happens on Friday. And for the England match, this one is vibes and inshallah I want to go and watch.
England will beat Switzerland.
I'm serious. Don't
just go and chill.
Don't
England
give it to England.
Maybe England Spain final.
Final.
Yeah.
I don't even see England in final. I don't see England in final. Let me not lie. I feel it's going to be a Spain-Netherlands final or Germany-Netherlands. Whoever wins between Spain and Netherlands, Spain and Germany goes to the final. Then whoever wins, I think it's going to be Netherlands in the final.
England all the way. To
This England will beat Netherlands. Even they do mistake and win.
Yes. If they beat Switzerland, they're going to beat Netherlands and make it to the final.
Let's see.
I don't know about winning it.
I think
it's
about 2-3 weeks away. 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, we'll know who's in the final. So let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Our fingers crossed. Okay. All right. Time really fast spent. My wife, it's been awesome having you on the show this lovely day. Definitely, we hope to make a return with more super edition of Locker Room.
It's always amazing to be here. And for the sake of Nigerian football, I hope the Nollywood film that the NFF and the Sport Ministry are shooting, I hope they wrap it up on time so that we can move forward. We need a coach and we need to start preparing for the Nations Cup. Thank you for having me.
All right, it's a pleasure. Okay, and of course, James, it's been a pleasure having you as well.
Yeah, it's been incredible to be here, talk sports again. We'll be here same time tomorrow. Yeah, to talk more.
All right, and of course, big thanks to the guys behind the scene, talking about the likes of Manfred, Alex, who's been awesome as well, and Jerry, and not leaving out Ikechukwu. My name is Jerry Apelahai, saying thanks for being a part of the show. To meet again, stay safe, and if not to anything at all, it's the Sports Week.
Delivery comes in.